Good morning and welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. Today I'm working on this Cadillac Escalade. I believe this is a 1999 version. I don't know for sure. That's what the box says, so I'm just going to go with what the box says. Now on the box art it shows that it's the long body or suburban type body, but the actual body is more like the Tahoe. It's the shorter wheelbase. So, giving a real quick first look on this body, it's really clean. I don't even see mold lines on it. No swirls in the plastic that I can tell. It does have an opening tailgate, so that's a nice option. All the locating holes for the luggage rack, mirrors, all kinds of stuff. As you can tell with the hood being closed, this is a curbside kit. That's the way it is. Next is your chassis, fully detailed with the engine and the transfer case and one drive shaft. Independent, well, not independent suspension, but separate suspension pieces and exhaust system. Even comes with a trailer hitch. Here's your part of your seats and seat backs, I should say. Here's your front and rear seats. Well, front, middle, and rear seats. Here are your exhaust and suspension parts. I found this to be pretty interesting that they incorporated all this in one piece. Your exhaust and two cross members. Kind of unique. Next up is your front and rear axles, tow hooks, airbags? Maybe just coil springs. Who knows? Next up is your dash. It looks pretty nice. Obviously there's going to be some kind of insert in there. I'm guessing it's probably part of the chrome tree. We'll find it here in a little bit. This also comes, well, here's your part of your rear door. Also comes with a set of big speakers, overhead console. I'm guessing these are like DVD screens. Those were pretty popular in the Escalade. Here's your front and rear bumpers and your tailgate. There is just the ever so slight amount of little bit of flash around this edge. But that's the first flash I've seen. And that's like 2 minutes with a piece of sandpaper. It's going to be, whoa, it's going to be easy fix. Got a whole stack of stuff over here falling over. Here's your outdoor mirrors and your running boards and the end caps for the running boards, which are painted body color. So this is going to be easy to paint. Just snap the, just snip this off and paint those color match to the body. And these will probably be just flat black, and I don't know if I'll add any chrome detail to that or not, but probably just flat black. Here's your interior chassis. I mean, interior tub, not chassis. Here's your door panels. Those are going to be really nice to detail paint. I love when they're like that. You can just get in there and paint them really well. Here's your chrome tree. Now, the nice thing about this chrome tree that I was looking it over, Not only does it give you two sets of wheels, they're see-through wheels too. You can see totally through those, both sets. Gives you two different grills, a stock grill and a custom grill. Your taillight inserts. And I'm not seeing anything that would look like a dash gauge set. And this is like the last tree. Well, not totally the last tree, but almost. Here's your taillights. Okay, I got 3 separate bags for your glass. Here's clear stop lenses, in case you want to use the, I guess you use those chrome as an aftermarket light with the clear lenses over them. Your headlight lenses, the dashboard, I guess you could call it a lens. Goes over the gauges. 2 front side windows. This next one is all tinted, so it would be your rear glass, the door, rear door glass, and the hatch glass. 2 metal axles. I didn't see those earlier. I felt them just now. Those are thick too. And your windshield, which is already pre-painted. That's nice. I really like that. And it gives you your overhead console and your sun visors molded in and painted. And as usual, I don't open those packages until we're done. Up next is the decal sheet. Here's your gauge set. So I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of backing in there. I didn't find it, but I'll look for it. Some kind of backing that goes behind your gauges. Door trim. Here's your speaker faces. Got a lot of nice wood grain stuff, so you don't have to worry about painting or trying to paint wood grain. I've done it before. It's not horrible, but it's nice when you have a decal that looks better. 2 sets of license plates. Well, actually, one's a license plate, one's just a name plate. Some stripes, if you so choose to use those. Last up for the parts, 4 low-profile Toyo tires. I think the name on the sidewall was Proxy or Proxys. They're directional tires, and they even have it labeled on the tire which way it goes. I'm not finding it now, but I saw it earlier. But yeah, the sidewall marks which direction the tire is supposed to rotate. So there's your tires. That's the only choice you got, is low profiles. They don't give you anything else. And then in true Revell style, they give you the directional booklet. And color guide, 14 steps to finish this one up. This one here, I've been trying to figure out what color I want to go with it. I'm thinking this garnet red metallic. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I think that would be a really nice color for this vehicle. with maybe a tan interior, like, or tan, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a black leather type. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. So there's everything that comes in the kit. There isn't going to be a whole bunch of cleanup or prep work to do because this thing is so clean. There is some prep work, like the seats and stuff like that. Get those kind of put together so they're easy to paint. And let's get started. We'll get this going and get over to the paint booth. I'll see you in a little bit. Just a quick update before we head to the paint booth. I've got everything pretty much set to go. I've got all my seat backs glued on. I'm getting ready to take the clamps off here in a minute. I wanted to show you what I did with the body. Now, the chassis pan is just in the body. I do have a couple of pieces of tape at the back end to just kind of hold the back end in place. The front bumper is just held on with a piece of tape, as well as the back bumper. That's just held on with a piece of tape. But I went ahead, even though this is like step 10 in the directions, I went ahead and glued the tailgate all together and glued it in place. I figured it was easier to do it now than it was to wait until step 10, because step 10 you have the interior in and all this kind of stuff, and the hinge for this door is very difficult to get to, especially with just how I have it right here. I can't imagine what that thing would have been like to try to put it in with the body totally done. So I went ahead and glued it in. It's still kind of setting up, but I just hope when it's all said and done this sets down in there like it's supposed to, and I think it will. It's a three-piece setup, actually, with this hinge. There's a piece that glues to the roof of the back end here, and that has like little clamps, like little hooks. And then there's another piece that goes across that has pins in it, and the pins go inside the hooks, and then you glue that to the ceiling, and then there's a crossbar between the pins that glues to the top of the door, and that allows you to open it. Let me see if I can flip that over so you can see it. See that in there? Now, can you imagine trying to fit your fingers up in here with the interior and all that stuff in there? I just hope it doesn't come back to bite me. I've got a feeling that it's going to. But it's too late now. It's glued in. I am having a little bit of an alignment issue, but when I push down like that, it pops down into place. And as far as the back glass goes, the back glass goes in from the outside, so it attaches at this point of the opening. So this is it'll sit flush with this back door part, or the body part, and fit flush against this up here. So when this is closed, this gap here will be flush, or it should be flush. So I think I'll just leave it down like this for tonight. I say tonight. For now, we'll leave this down here like this for now, and so that glue can set and everything is in its place. And then when I'm ready, everything should just work. Theoretically. Alright, we're all set to go over to the paint booth. I've got all of the assemblies that I want to do done, So I'll see you over there.
Alright fellas, it's been a minute. Got the body almost totally finished. I still have to do the bottom. I have to do the chassis. I have it on, in there so you can get a little bit of the overspray from painting. But that's almost ready to go. Still have to do a lot of the trim work and stuff like that, but the paint is almost done. The interior, as you saw in the paint booth, I went with the true taupe coloring on the seats, the satin almond on the door panels, and then the floor of the chassis. Now I just real quick just shot the true taupe on the center console. The floor itself, I was thinking, well, what color do I want to do that? And keeping with the theme of the exterior, I'm going to go with this spiced berry for the carpeting. I was thinking a black or maybe a brown, but that wouldn't really keep with the tone of the vehicle. I'm still undecided because I'm leaning towards the brown, and I have several different shades of brown, but I'm thinking I'll just go with the spice berry. I think that'll look probably okay. You're not going to see much of it anyway once it's all installed. So let's get started on that, and then we have the suspension and stuff we got to build yet. So let's get this interior painted and get that finished up, then we'll zip back to where we were supposed to be and get the rest of this done. I hate when I screw up and take the lid off a little too fast. That's alright, it's fixable. Now I'm using a wider brush because that will help me as far as brush marks, and it'll cover faster. Yeah, I think that's going to look alright. It's a little red, but General Motors has a way of, well, back in the 80s and 90s anyway, they had a way of really producing some lavish colors for their interiors. I had a 78 Chevy at one point in my life that was a maroon in color exterior, and the interior was bright red, and I mean the entire interior, the seats, the dash, the door panels, everything was red. And I thought, that's pretty garish. But that was 80s General Motors. It's that's the way they did it back then. I'm being all careful, and this has got to go up to this line anyway. Just like that. And now a lot of this is going to be covered by the seats, and I probably don't need to paint it, but what the heck. Still trying to kick this flu that's been going around, and haven't quite gotten rid of it yet. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I'll be right back. Alright, fellas, I've got, well, I almost have the suspension completed. The rear suspension was multi-piece, but everything just fell right into place. The only thing that I've got left to do on the rear end here is the brake rotors, and I'll get on that in just a second. But as you can see, all of the pins and holes line up like they should, and everything fell right into place. So we're done with the suspension. Let's get on to the interior parts, which the paint should be almost totally dry, and will be one step closer to the final. Alright, fellas, I got the interior fully assembled. This is what I came up with. Got my dash decals in there. I came across this really neat chrome pen. It's a chrome paint pen, and I got that at, gosh, where did I get that? I don't remember where I got it from. I think it was maybe Temu. I've been buying a lot of stuff from Temu here lately for whatever reason. But anyway, if you look at the door handles, I'm not sure if they're focusing in. Look at the door handles. That's that chrome paint. The trim around the center console here, right up in here. That's really shiny like chrome. It's not like silver paint. I really like it. Let me see, what did I do with that? Oh, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. It's chrome paint marker. Now I'm sure you guys have used these, or at least a bunch of you have. Maybe some of you haven't. But the chrome on the lettering, that's what this looks like in this. It's a paint pen. You shake it up. See how shiny that tip is? And that's how it goes on. It looks like metal, like it's a chrome piece. It's not a painted look, it's an actual chrome look. So it's really kind of cool. But anyway, that's the interior. I said I was going to go with that spice berry on the floor, which I did, and painted everything else in, door panels and everything. So this is all set to go, and I got to put another coat of clear on the body, then we can start doing windows and final assemblies. So I'll see you in just a little bit when I start to do the windows. Alright fellas, I got all of the black chrome trim around the windows done, and I've got the windows all in. I'm having a little trouble with this rear window. It because of the curvature of the door, it's being a little stubborn to accept the glue, and so I've had to keep it clamped in place for a little bit longer than the rest of the glass. I'm going to roll this over here real quick and give you an idea of what the overhead looks like inside. You have your overhead console there with the little TV screen. The windshield and the visors and all this here is all one piece, so that pops right in there real easy. I painted the roof there to kind of match the interior. I didn't do a fantastic job on it because honestly, do you really ever see that? Once the body's on, yeah, I doubt you're going to see it much, but you're definitely going to not see the center console there either. So I'm giving you an opportunity to see what it looks like this. I'm going to go with the custom taillights instead of the stock taillights, and I got those colored in. I've got the parking lights, turn signals, what have you, on the headlight lenses. Those are painted in orange, and I also painted in the ends of the luggage rack, and so I'm letting those dry. And with this, I'm going to go with those aftermarket spoke wheels and the aftermarket grille to match the aftermarket taillights. So that's where we stand right now. As soon as this glue sets up on this rear glass, I'm going to go ahead and throw everything together, and I'll see you at the final. Welcome to the final on this 2002 Cadillac Escalade by Revell. This is the second Cadillac Escalade that I've built on this channel. The first one was in the EXT body. If you recall correctly, I painted that one sapphire blue. That one went together really nice. Both of these are fun builds. Even though this one was a curbside kit, it still looks great. I built this with all of the extra aftermarket parts that a guy would put on his Escalade, you know, like the aftermarket grille and wheels and taillights. Now the tailgate, as you can see, is partially open, and that's the way I wanted it to be displayed for right now, but it is fully functional. You can close it all the way, you can open it all the way, or if you want to permanently close it, you can do that as well. You know, that's pretty obvious. It wouldn't be real hard to do. Now, like I said, this is a curbside kit, meaning that there's not a physical engine under the hood. Matter of fact, the hood is molded into the body. You can't open it. But everything is there to give the illusion that there's an engine in it when you look at it from underneath. Now the paint laid down is about as smooth as I could expect, as well as the clear coats that I put on. I did add the cherry mica powder to the mix on the second coat because the garnet red, even though it was a metallic paint, didn't have the pop that I was looking for. So I added the mica powder to give it just a little bit more of a red color and also a little bit more of a metallic color. Now after I put that coat of primer on there, I did notice that there was a tiny bit of flash on the body that I didn't catch until after I got the primer on. Those spots were at the leading edge of the hood where the hood met the fender, like right in that crease, and that was on both sides. It only took me maybe 5 minutes to correct that with a little bit of sandpaper and my number 10 blade. Just kind of went in there and trimmed it up a little bit and sanded it down. Reapplied the primer on the front end and we were all set to go. Now this kit is, it basically has full glass all the way around. The windshield and all of the door windows glued in from the inside, and the very rear side windows as well as the rear hatch window attached from the outside. Now I want to talk about a few of the positives and negatives of this kit, and there were more positives than negatives really. Some of the positives was the tight fitment of the body to the chassis. I always like that, so you can just pop the body on there. You don't have to worry about gluing it and clamping it in place and things like that. This thing fit right on the chassis like it's supposed to. The interior even slid in pretty easily once you got past the firewall, I guess you could call it. Once you got that past the sides of the body, it just popped right down into place. The body has decent enough grooves in it for the windows, so when I put the windows in from the inside, they fell right into place without a fight. I did attach some scotch tape to the glass, dropped it into its place, put some pressure on the tape onto the body to hold the glass, applied my Mod Podge and let that cure. Once it was cured, peeled the tape off, everything was good to go. I also did add some of the black chrome bare metal foil around the windshield and the door glass. I didn't do it on the rest of it because that was kind of the way the glass was tinted. You wouldn't have been able to see it anyway, so I just didn't put it on the rear side windows and the back window. But the door windows and the windshield frame did get some of the black chrome bare metal foil applied. Now another nice thing, well, a couple other nice things about this, the tires pop right onto the rims without a fight. I didn't have to warm them up or anything like that. They're firm, but they're pliable enough that they just popped right onto the rims without a fight. No problems there. Everything about this kit has decently sized alignment pin holes, so there's no guesswork as to where the parts attach. But I did have to open up the outside door handle holes to put the door handles in. But that was a byproduct of painting the body. It kind of filled up the holes a little bit. And once I took my pin vise drill in there and kind of cleaned out the paint, those handles popped right into place. And that's no fault of the kit. It's just, paint. Some of the negatives about building this kit are the rear hatch. It has a peculiar kind of a fit. In order to get it fully closed, you have to kind of push down on the passenger side top edge of the hatch, like right in this area here, to get it to close all the way. I'm not going to do it while it's on the turntable because it stalls out the turntable and I don't want to damage it. But once you kind of push down on that corner, the door will pop all the way shut. Now, like I said earlier, the body fits over the chassis nicely. But while you're doing all of this and putting the interior in it, it requires you to put the taillights in place before you put the interior in it. Otherwise, you won't be able to have access to get that taillight lens in there, because the actual lens goes on the outside, but the chrome part goes through from the inside. So you have to put the taillights on before you put the interior in place. And this is where it gets a little tricky with the body, because if you're not careful, and it's not a big deal, but if you're not careful, you can pop the taillights out of place, and then you have to go back and reattach the taillight in there. I think maybe the problem I had was that I was rushing it and didn't allow enough time for the glue to set before I decided to put the interior and chassis on the body, or vice versa. Now, one of the things I've come to sort of dislike about Revell kits is their decal sheet. Now, the decal sheets, they always have, decent decals, but when it comes time to applying them to the body or other parts, you have to soak them a long time to get them to even start to move off that paper. That used to be a thing with AMT kits, if I recall correctly, but lately AMT kits, you don't have to soak them that long, I've noticed, in the decals. If you're not careful, they'll float off the paper while you're soaking them. But with this Revell here, I had to soak those decals for quite a while before they would even begin to move on the paper. So, to me, that's a little annoying. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you had that same problem? And if you have, what was your solution to it? Other than just being patient and waiting, because that's just about the only thing you can do. Anyway, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you guys, if that bothers you guys. If it does, what was your solution to the problem? Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook. And if you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching Scale Out a Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.